Welcome, welcome to this week's podcast. I want to talk to you about taking a break. I did it last year. I'm doing it this year. I did it over Christmas. I kind of like taking me a break. And you would have heard the podcasts before if you've listened to some of them. I want to give you permission to do the same. And the reason why I really love repeating this message is because you will tell your best mate, take a break. It's not lazy. It's not selfish. It's one of the best things you can actually do for yourself. But very rarely do we talk to ourselves in that way. So I want to give you permission to pause. And and I want to share with you my experience leading up to this because I kind of start to wind down about now. It's my birthday in a couple of weeks. So that for me is like when the summer starts and I love to give myself that break. And I had a sense last year and it's the same this year. My boys are getting older. They want to spend time with their mates. They're teenagers. Teenagers aren't that enthused about doing all the things they used to want to do when they were little. So it's about, for me, really giving myself very deliberate, conscious time to connect with them in whatever way, shape, or form that looks like. And I don't put pressure on that. Yes, my brain wants to tell me they should be 100% off screens and we should be outside and be wholesome. And oh, that's sometimes not how it looks, is it? Let's get real. Let's get real. So, talking about real, guilt. When you consider taking time out, taking a break, having a holiday, guilt tends to come up because that inner critic, that bitchy voice that we all have, loves to tell us, oh, can't take a break right now, there's too much to do. Or, if I stop, it'll stop. So, owning my own business, one of the things my brain loves to tell me is if I stop working, it'll stop working. In the 6 years that I've been deliberately taking a break, hasn't stopped. But my brain is convinced this time it's going to. And so taking this also this belief that taking time out is lazy or selfish, it really isn't. When you allow yourself to take a break, that is actually what fuels you. It enables you to be the best version of yourself. That's not selfish. It's essential. And so I think acknowledging that, yes, that part of our brain is going to create guilt. Guilt is the emotion of guilt has a purpose. It made sure that back in our caveman days, when we needed to be part of a tribe in order to survive, guilt made us learn so that we didn't do anything that might have got us kicked out of that tribe. Good to know hundreds of thousands of years ago. However, work doesn't have to be your tribe. Social media doesn't have to be your tribe. Your family, however that looks for you, is your tribe. And it is not selfish to very deliberately spend time with them. So acknowledging that guilt is going to be part of it doesn't have to be the decision maker. That's huge. You can thank guilt for trying to keep you safe, but it's just very mistaken. In this particular scenario, actually feeling guilty and choosing to have time off anyway is going to be what creates such a more beautiful connection with your family. And it's not lazy. It could actually be classed as leadership, especially if you own your own business or you have a team or you manage a team of people. Showing them that the world doesn't end when you take a break gives them permission to believe that the world doesn't end when they take a break. And as a leader, it is about being the human you want your people to become. Brené Brown says it so beautifully when she says, as parents, we need to be the adult we want our child to become. It's exactly the same in leadership. If you have a team of people and you know that actually them taking a break and switching off makes them so much more productive because there's a ton of research out there that proves it, it starts with you. So it's not lazy. It could be leadership. So I think that's huge. And then let's look at the different types of breaks that you can take. For me, I love doing nothing. I actually do. I believe I probably was a sloth in a previous life. Give me a book and somewhere comfy to sit. I can waste hours. It's not wasting. I'm going to reframe that. I could spend hours indulging in doing nothing. I love sitting in the steam room. I love sitting on my patio and just looking out the view. I actually enjoy sitting and doing nothing. And the reason I enjoy doing that is because I don't feel like I ever have to. I don't believe the bullshit that my brain gives me, right? So when my brain is there going, "Rah, rah, 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 rah," I'm just like, all right, whatever. You're not talking the truth. So I'm quite happy in my own company. If the thought of sat doing nothing for you is terrifying, then you might want to address your relationship with yourself because that kind of indicates to me that there's an underlying internal issue that you're not dealing with. And if you're your biggest bitch, it makes sense that you're not going to want to sit and spend time with yourself. But it could just look like choosing ahead of time, I'm not going to have screens for that evening. No one in the family is going to have screens for that evening. Knowing that if your kids aren't used to you implementing this or your partner isn't used to implementing, there may be a bit of agitation to begin with, and that's okay. It's okay. That's part of the detoxing process. It could look like, taking a walk out in nature on your own so that when you come back, you are fueled and ready to spend time with the people that you love. Taking time out could like having nothing planned in at all. I know, right? We don't actually have to plan. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love me a plan, but you can plan in doing nothing. I mean, that's kind of cool, do you not think? And of course, then you can actually plan to have proper holidays, real breaks, actually where you leave the house and you go away for nights. But you don't have to have a holiday in order to relax. And if you are telling yourself you need a holiday, again, there's an indication that you're not addressing something. A holiday is nice to have, and I love holidays. But when it's a need to have, it's indicating there's something in your life that you're not addressing. And you could address that so that the holiday then is just lovely and nice to have. And I really feel that resting is a skill. We're not taught how to rest. And I was actually coaching someone. I've been coaching someone that loves to fill their life up with stuff. They've always got things planned. They're always on a go. And if something cancelled, they would go and fill it with another sport, or they were always out. And what they've realized is actually by planning in time to do nothing, by resting, that is what actually refuels his battery so that he can keep going for longer. So resting is vital. It's when we rest that we heal. Only because of our society's conditioning around being lazy and the absolute bollocks that we buy into that resting is doing nothing, we don't give ourselves permission to do it. And you will know deep down if you're actually being lazy in the sense that you are actually avoiding doing something. But if you're on a planned break, doing nothing is not lazy. It's very productive and it's very healing. And it does amaze me. I chuckle at myself how sometimes I quite often plan nothing at the weekends, and how even a day of doing nothing involves doing 3 loads of washing, hanging it out, and tidying the house. But that's okay too. You can actually create a plan to do nothing. You can plan nothing in your calendar. And then all you have to do is not engage in the bullshit that your brain's going to come out with when it's telling you, I should be doing something. We should be active. The weather's lovely. We should get outside. That all makes us feel crap. And then when we're doing it resentfully and obligated. And that's not holiday. That's not relaxing. So I want to end with this. I want to end with really empowering you to choose the type of summer that you really want to have, that would be really nice to have. So for me, I have decided to not constrain, not collaborate. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten the word. What's that word? Condense. I've chosen to condense my coaching hours, my clients, down into just a couple of days. The other days, because I now have teenagers and they tend to lie in a little bit, I have got some business projects that I'm really excited about that I want to start doing. So I am going to plan in to work in the mornings when my boys are asleep. Then I'm going to stop when they get up, and then I'm going to fully focus on them. Whatever they decide to do. And if they want to go out, we'll go out. If they want to sit and play on their PlayStations, they'll sit and play on their PlayStations. I'm not going to choose to beat us up or shame ourselves for being human. And if they want to sit on their PlayStation and play together, I'm going to take that opportunity to sit and read my book. Probably right here on the sofa behind me if it's raining. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can see me pointing to my leather sofa behind me. Um, so take the pressure off. Don't try and make it be perfect. You're human, and that need to take a break does not mean that you're broken. It is the most healing, beneficial things that you can do for yourself and for your family. And when that brain starts to spin in the negative bullshit, which just accept it's going to do, just practice what I'm going to practice, which is taking a really deep breath, acknowledging it first of all, taking a really deep breath, and then choosing not to engage in that dialogue. I just don't engage with that drama. And I remind myself that this is very deliberately what I've chosen to do this summer. And then I've got my back, regardless of what happens of the outcome. So I have pre-recorded 8 very short, very powerful, no bullshit lessons so that over your summer, if you do want to do something, there's very short lessons that you can listen to that are going to be scheduled. So you will get to hear me every week, even though I'm actually going to be off grid. I was just inspired to do that. So that's what I've done. So look out for those. And then I will be really excited to join you again in September and announce the new little things that I'm coming up with. I cannot wait to speak to you then. Have a beautiful time, and I will speak to you all on the other side. Good luck. You've got this. Mwah. Bye.